Hey folks, it's Kathleen over at BookBrush, and I want to show you some cool ways to use our surface images. So first of all, you might not have even known that we have surface images. And second of all, I've got some fun examples on how to use them in your graphics. Let's take a look. Here's example number 1 of a promo graphic for a series of books with a surface image underneath. Here's example number 2. Again, a single book in this one, but you've got one of these cool surface images underneath. And my third example, and I'll show you how to do all 3 of these, this cool surface image making the whole thing pretty awesome. Let's jump into the custom creator and let's pretend we're creating this from scratch. First, we'll start with a Facebook ad size. Click on the background step on the left and searching for sand. Place the image in the workspace, and again, you can use what we call the eye icon over here on the lower right to see what's outside. If you want to move it around, you can. If you want to resize, you can. Let's check out the surface images. Where do you find these? On the left-hand side, images, right here under bookshelf. So you'll see different shelf options, and then all of these super cool surfaces. These help you put everything together so your books can sit. So I'll click one, small when it enters the image, and you can resize by dragging or double click and resize with the slider. Then you just place it at the bottom. And if you want to, you can use centering tools here on the lower right. One click for grid lines, one click for centering. That way, if you want to make sure it's right in the center, you can. Now let's add books. On the left-hand side, choose Book Template. We'll use this ebook on the upper right. And I'm going to turn the centering tools back on so we can make sure it's right in the center. We will resize. Then duplicate. So we are going to add 5 books, so we'll click this plus button. Great, we have all 5. Now, if you want them exactly lined up even, you can move these movable centering tools here by clicking and dragging, and then you'll just line up so each one is touching perfectly. And then you just need to swap your covers. So the lightning bolt in the lower left corner, click that and pop in your new book. And you are all set. You can go ahead and download that as a PNG or a JPEG. If you want some of them at a different height, you could just move the centering tool up. Say you want the second and fourth at a little bit different height, you can do that too. So there's that example. And then I also think it's kind of fun to take your surface image and try different ones. So we'll delete that one with the garbage can. Back on the left to images, try a different one. Now remember, you use these arrows to move them in front and behind. So we'll go book by book and place that at the bottom. Super cool option with all of these different surface images. All right, our next example will be a square image. Clicking on background on the left. Again, we're searching sand. So here's the image. Again, eye icon over here on the lower right. Resize this if you want to, move it around. Now, for the surface image, click on images on the left, again, bookshelf, and we're using this cool rock. Resize either by dragging or double click and use the slider. What's interesting about this is once we bring it down like this, there's an edge, but if you get it low enough, it just looks like a cool rock formation. Slide it around if you want to. And add a book. Click Book Template on the left. And place it on the rock. I'm going to hold Shift and resize a little bit so it stays in proportion. You can move your background if you want the leaves hanging differently. But that's how to do it. So let me click the eye icon. You can see here's your surface image hiding down here so that it gives a platform for your book. And example number 3, clicking on background. Again, this is a square image. We will search lake. We'll click on images on the left, bookshelf, click to add to the image. You can make these super big. So I'm going to use that eye icon so you can see how large this is. You can move the direction. Now for a different look, we're going to take each of these and add a black and white filter. So for your shelf, click on the left, black and white, click the background, filters, black and white. So now what's going to be the focus is your book. Click on book template on the left. We'll do an ebook this time. And resize to place it on the dock. Now when I'm clicking this bottom, you can just click the arrow key to move that to see how you want it to line up. These do seem to have a bit of a center, so if you kind of want the whole thing facing this direction versus scooting it the other way, so it lines up that way. Super cool option. You will find all of these in images. Go to bookshelf and check out the shelves and surfaces for unique graphics to promote your books.